everyone. Good to see you. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you out in the flight sim world. This is Viper Strike 95 Flight Simulation, and today we're here back in Alaska, funnily enough. We're back here in Alaska. We're just right outside of the town of Gustavus, Alaska. We're right here at Bartlett Cove. Good to see you guys here today. And we're right in the middle of Glacier Bay, Alaska. I hope you're all doing well on this Friday afternoon. I mean, what a great way to kick off the weekend here. So we got a bit of a longer one coming up in today, but this one should be exciting. This is a two-leg flight today. So we're going to be here for our little nap map. But before we get to our nap map, I want to say hello to the chat. We have Devil Do One. Good to see you. Yes, I did see the news about the Orbex. I'll talk about it a bit later. And we have Super Typhon here as well. Great to see you both here. I hope you're all doing well. So we have two legs. So we're going to take off here from Bartlett Cove. So from Bartlett Cove, we're going to go through Glacier Bay. We're going to be flying over the mountains, including Mount Tinglet, see Mount Bertha and all that. Fly over the fjords, and we'll make our first landing here at Yakutat Seaport. We'll make the landing there. And then from there, we're going to go for a 222 nautical mile trip. And we'll make our way to Alamar Seaport, right outside of the town of Patilek for our final stop for today, just right outside of the city of Valdez. So we got a 359 nautical mile flight here today. Devil says in the chat, only do Lake 5 of the busiest routes in Europe. Yep, that is an achievement I've been part of. I got them all done yesterday. So the plane we're going to be taking here today, guys, as you guys can definitely tell, this is, I think you all probably know the plane here. I mean, you guys can probably see from a mile away this plane. Yes, it is. This came for the 40th anniversary update, and it is one of the largest planes ever built. It is one of the most unique planes ever built back in the day. Yes, I'm talking about the mighty Hughes H4 Hercules, commonly known as the Spruce Goose. But here's a bit of interesting facts about this Spruce Goose. It was a prototype strategic airlift flying boat designed by and built by the Hughes Aircraft Company, famous for making a bunch of other planes. Hughes has made quite a few other aircraft, including the huge H-1 Racer. And Hughes also makes quite a few missiles, like the AIM-4 Falcon, AIM-54 Phoenix, and AGM-65 Maverick missiles. But this has been their huge plane they built back in the 40s. The thing that makes this plane special was this thing was built from wood. Yes. And the reason they built this out of wood is because during World War II, there was restrictions on the use of aluminum and concerns about weight, so they built this entirely of birch. And it's the largest flying boat ever built, and it has the largest wingspan of any aircraft that's ever flown. And it wasn't until the scaled composite strato launch in 2019 that had a longer wingspan than that. The aircraft, despite all of it being made from wood, is still in great condition, and it's currently now on display at the Evergreen Air and Space Museum in McMinnville, Oregon. So, but very special plane. It has 8 engines, 8 Pratt & Whitney Wasp Major engines that produce 3,000 horsepower each. It supposedly has a cruise speed of 220 knots and a ceiling of 20,000 feet with a 3,000 nautical mile range. So this thing has a massive range and everything. It's huge. It's 218 feet long. The wingspan is 320 feet, which is absolutely massive. To put that into context, wingspan of aircraft, and if you want to put that in comparison to put that in list of large aircraft. If you want to put this in comparison to other planes, the wingspan on this thing, um, it has an even larger wingspan than the AN-225, which, by the way, is the heaviest aircraft that was ever built at the time. And that thing has a wingspan of almost 10 meters more than that. So it's absolutely enormous. And this thing was built in the 40s, which makes it even more impressive. It's bigger than the A380, the AN-124. I mean, it makes the Boeing 747 look tiny in wingspan by comparison. It's massive, huge. And this thing only flew once, by the way. It flew only once, and it was at Cabrilla Beach. So we don't even know what the true capabilities of this plane. Hey, good to see you, Kingsman. So let's get this spruce goose started. So yes, if you noticed, this thing does indeed have modern avionics. In an autopilot, they added this in the most recent updates, so I'm gonna actually use the modern avionics. So how do we get this spruce goose started, by the way, guys? So how do we get this thing started? So for the spruce goose, we get this started. Let's go to our checklist. We're gonna be here for a little while, so let's get the engines. So we have to open all these shut-off valves. Thankfully, they're all open for us. All these shut-off valves are open. Yes, there's a lot of shut-off valves, but I mean it makes sense. We're dealing with 8 engines, so they're gonna be all on. They're all open. Okay, guys, let's turn on the battery switch. Okay, battery on. Alternator is already on. Battery switch, alternator is on. All the alternators seem to be on for us. So, okay, APU is turned on. APU gen switches are on. And we're going to get ready to... Oh, yeah. I guess the prime's already on. We're going to turn on the magnetos. All the magnetos need to be on already. So we're going to go ahead and... Engine started. Go ahead and start the engines. Maybe I guess that. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. Just trying to get this spruce goose actually started. Okay, that's all the engines. So all the engines are turned on. And we got all the engines on. So that is everything. And the APU starts off. So everything's done. So we got everything done on this. So navigation lights are working, and that's it. So before we take off, we got everything set up. I think we're gonna go ahead and turn on their avionics, and let's put in our flight plan for today. So today's flight plan. If you guys want to know the route, here it is. So our route is going to be the flight plan. B Q. There we go. And we're going to go 10,000 feet for this one. So 10,000 feet is going to be our elevation altitude. So for this one, um, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go 10,000 feet. So we're going to climb and get ready to climb and fly. And we're off. Hey, good to see you, Waylon Utani. Good to see you, Waylon. We're here in the Spruce Goose today. We're doing a Spruce flight in Alaska today. So we're currently in the mighty Spruce Goose. Had an autopilot. Yeah. So why is the VNAV thing not working? So I guess I'm gonna have to shift my heading. So I'm going to go ahead and circle around. For some reason, the nav mode on this isn't exactly working, unfortunately. I can't seem to change the CDI on this for some reason. Don't know why. Just climbing this up. But yeah, we are in the Mighty Spruce Goose, guys. This is a group fight, by the way, so just take anything that could probably keep up with the Spruce Juice. So, that's going to be what we're doing today, but Mighty Spruce. You can obviously fly this without the GPS if you don't want to. Yeah, I can't seem to change this. I need to do the heading mode. Heading. That's what we're doing here. I hope you guys are having a great start to your weekend today. So we're right here in Glacier Bay, Alaska. So we're here at Glacier Bay National Park and Preserve. We're going to be heading over to that area soon. As well. So Glacier Bay National Park and Preserve was proclaimed as national park by President Calvin Coolidge back in 1925, and is now become a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1979. It encompasses around 50,000 acres of public land to the home to many parts of fish and wildlife habitats, and it features over 1,000 glaciers around this area. And you can find all sorts of animals here too, including brown and black bear species, timber wolves, coyotes, moose, black-tailed deer, Arctic and red fox, porcupines, and more. You can even find some marine animals like sea otters, Steller sea lions, and orcas too around Glacier Bay, Alaska. So you can find all of them here in Alaska, in this part of Alaska as well. So, I hope you guys have a great weekend so far. I'm doing better myself. My voice is doing quite a bit better now, so I'm feeling quite well. So we're gonna go to 10th depth. But I mean, look at the scenery here. In oh man, look at the view. Oh my. I think I might be going to Glacier Bay next year in Alaska. Be heading off to Glacier Bay. This is pretty. Oh, the view of Alaska. That is. Hey, you barely had hungry lately. It's getting better. Yeah, that's nice, Double Dude. You're not getting nearly as hungry as you used to. But yet, this is absolutely a pretty part of Alaska. This part of Alaska is absolutely gorgeous. So we're flying really, really high. But yeah, this spruce goose is pretty awesome. Yeah, we're about to climb 10,000 feet into the Alaska wilderness. And this is stunning. I'm actually thinking about climbing to 12,000 feet just to get over some of the mountains here in Alaska. But I hope you guys have had a great weekend so far. So there has been some MSFS news. Devil Dude did mention Orbex released a new plane today. They released the Blackwing BW635RG and a high performance ultralight. Um, it can go to 223 knots. In its range. And they stated by Orbex to use 3D artists and industry veteran Russ White use real world CAD drawings provided by Blackwing, the company itself, to produce some of the most accurate modeling in MSFS with a very realistic aircraft with extreme world texture, complete with real life stuff, just like in the real plane. It has four distinct liveries and it is equipped with modern avionics, including autopilot, audio panel, and radios. And it'll come to MSFS for 20 US dollars, which is very competitively priced. Which is at a good price as well. There we go. So, but yeah, if you guys haven't looked at the view, so this I'm gonna explore the rest of this Mighty Spruce Goose. So here's all your engines and avionics systems here. So yeah, that's to manage each of the 8 engines. So you have oil pressure, temperature, cooling flaps, fuel flow. This is for each of the 8 massive engines on this thing. Yeah, 223 for a road tax is mad. Yeah, it's like most twins. Exactly. And here's all the people can see. These are the people that can see. Here you got cargo, floats, and other equipment. It's the fastest, they say. Absolutely. There's your radio comms and all that sit here. There's your VHF, radio compass, all that stuff. That's like the radio Morse. And this is where they do the communications in Morse. They had all of these stuff here too. So Glacier Bay National Park. Some bit more information. So there is a lot of sort of geographical things about it. Glacier Bay is home to the Fairweather Mountain Range, which is one of the mountain ranges here in Alaska, right to the St. Elias Mountains. The tallest peak of the national park is Mount Fairweather, which is around 15,000 feet tall, and it goes through much of the Glacier Bay area as well. In fact, I think we're gonna fly near Mount. I think there's and right there. I think there's Mount Fairweather right here, the tallest point of Glacier Bay. 15,000 feet. And I mean, what a view. Yeah. Hey, good to see you, Mongo. The second philosophy teacher says once there could be a fine line between genius and insanity. Yes, that is Howard Hughes. That is very much Hughes, by the way. Yeah, the man Howard Hughes. I absolutely agree. He is one of the most influential people of his time. I mean, he actually had quite a ambitious career for sure. He was a film producer. Then he became an important aviation figure. Then he was a very centric layer on his life. we have quite a few. We have Bagels and Copper Sticks. Oh no, they all got her H4 spruce gooses here today. Oh dear. Oh dear. That's a lot of big planes. Oh. Hey, good to see you. I'm doing well, Biggles. Yeah, we're flying over a bunch of Alaska. So this here is Glacier Bay, to our left. Glacier Bay, Alaska. So we're gonna go to 15,000 feet for this one. We're gonna try and clear everything here. Yeah, this is Glacier Bay, and you can see all the really tall peaks here in this part of Alaska. And it's not even the most mountainous part of Alaska either. The most mountainous is you go all the way to Denali National Park. So once we go through Glacier Bay, we'll be flying past Kulain National. So we're going to be going through quite a few national parks. So we're just doing some sightseeing here in Alaska. But yeah, I'm doing very well, Biggles. Just enjoying the sightseeing here in Alaska in the mighty Spruce Goose. This thing is huge. I mean, its wingspan is even larger than the AN-225, which is already a massive plane itself. Like, it's huge wingspan, 8 engines, and it's completely made of wood. It's So yeah, the thing about Howard Hughes is that he was the son of an inventor and businessman of Howard Hughes Sr. His senior was a very successful inventor and businessman, and then he actually grew up in science technology, and then he became a film producer for many years as a major film producer. He produced quite a few movies. Including The Racket, Hell's Angels, and Scarface, which were big budget and controversial films that he produced, and he became one of the big 5 studios during the golden age of Hollywood. Then once after that, he turned to aviation and became a major pioneer. He was setting speed records with his race plane, including the Hughes XF-11 in the 40s. But he did an around the world flight, and he set multiple airspeed records too. And his plane, the Howard Hughes H1, is a very important plane. His racing plane was very successful. He had his own aircraft company. He did an around the world trip in 1938. He flew an Super Electra across the world, from New York to Paris, Moscow, all throughout Russia, back to Alaska and the United States. Then he got involved with the airlines, with Trans World Airlines. He got involved with that with Constellation, with Lockheed Conn. And then he had more stuff as well, but and then the last couple of years he suffered from severe OCD, unfortunately. Spent the rest of his life here in Las Vegas. But Howard Hughes, definitely an American icon. Go for good and bad. Hey, good to see you, Jigsaw. Those are actually the those things underneath the wings of the H4 Hercules for his design. It's to balance the it's a flying boat. So basically those things on the bottom parts of its wings, they're called sponsons. They're underwing floats. And they help with the stability of the flying boat when in the water. So yeah, those are called sponsons. Oh, don't stall. 13,000 feet. Good to see you, Scoop. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, yeah, we're over Alaska in the Spruce Goose. This is my first ever flight with this thing. But I know someone who actually has flown this thing in a series. I know he's not here right now, but Foxtrot did a whole series on the Spruce Goose back in there, back in back a while ago, and he took this thing all across um from McMinnville back to Long Beach in the Spruce Goose. So he did a whole series thing with it. Oh, but definitely check out his channel as well. But yeah, happy Friday to you as well, my friend. But yeah, this thing's massive of a flying boat. It's huge. And flying boats were quite popular back in the day. Especially before the rise of the jetliners. Flying boats were one of the few ways you can get across the transatlantic because they had the range and all that. And they were used a lot during World War II. Like people like Catalina, because Kagawashi HHK for the Japanese. You have the short Sutherland for the British. And then there's the prototype German flying boat, the BV-238 as well. But the flying boat definitely captures that trim. Good to see a Crazy Mind. Are you flying at? You are flying at 20,000 feet. No, we're flying around. We're trying to go 15,000 feet. No, we're flying at 15,000 feet. We're just trying to clear the mountains. But good to see you, Crazy Mind. Welcome to the chat for the first time. Great to see you. We're just enjoying our time over. We're going over Glacier Bay in the mighty Spruce Goose. Yeah, it's 13,000 feet. Oh my goodness. There's two Spruce Gooses, man. Man, the view from up here is absolutely nuts here in Alaska. Absolutely stunning here. Oh yeah, he would probably be very proud to see what his craziest creation yet. Probably more than 3.5 seconds. He would be very proud. To see his legacy being honored like that, I think he would be proud. Yeah, and speaking about Hughes, he helped build one of the most successful racing planes of all time, the Hughes H-1 Racer, which was produced by Howard Hughes in 1935. It featured a streamlined design, and it's considered by many to be one of the most cleanest, elegant aircraft ever built. Featured with individually machined push rivets with aluminum skin, powered by a Pratt & Whitney twin-row 14-cylinder engine, which produced over 1,000 horsepower. And it was a very successful racing plane. It inspired a bunch of designs. Well, it inspired a lot of designs, including the P-47 Thunderbolt for the U.S., the Japanese A6M0 from Mitsubishi, and the FW-190. Some people say it was actually inspired by those planes, and it ended up being I mean, and why not? It was very streamlined. It was efficient. It had great speed. I mean, this thing is fast even by modern propeller point standards. This thing yeah. New Antonov with 12 engines. Yeah, maybe the next Antonov with 12 engines. That's going to come up pretty soon as well. I also have a Discord, by the way, guys. If you want to check out my channel Discord, I got that set up. Yeah, Howard Hughes was absolutely responsible for a lot of things. H1 is very influential. It's in the sim right now. I think someone made it for the sim. But so that tall peak here to your left, that is Mount Fairweather. This is the tallest peak here in Glacier Bay National Park here in Alaska. Yeah, he was also a psychopath. That is true. He was he had a lot of OCD stuff. Um, as well. But yeah, the dude absolutely. I mean, he did nearly everything. He did aviation, filmmaking. He did real estate, airliners stuff. I mean, in fact, Howard Hughes might have actually been the inspiration for Iron Man. Howard Hughes' persona with his crazy stings is actually inspired Marvel to create Tony Stark's persona in Iron Man. He's like that influential. But here's the funny thing. His father himself, Howard Hughes Sr., was also a well-known inventor and businessman. He founded the Hughes Tool Company, and invented the Sharp Hughes rotary drill bit during the Texas oil boom. He invented his own drill technique, which revolutionized oil well drilling into much of the oil in Texas, and he made it very successful. And then later on, after he died, his own company invented the tricone rotary drill bit to increase even more wealthiest people in the world, thanks to his father's oil success. So yeah, and also designing hospital beds. Yeah, his influence is just it's massive. But yeah, just all around someone who represented American business and all that. Definitely Howard Hughes. Now Salisbury, just absolutely stunning. Yeah, good to see you, Mr. 90. Yes, we are flying the Spruce Goose, the H4 Herc. Yeah, we're flying that big boy today. We got quite a few people with us. Biggles and Coffin Sticker with us today. Yeah, yeah, he was very influential in Los Angeles as well. Absolutely stunning here. Absolutely stunning here in this part of Alaska. 146 knots of airspeed over here to this part of Alaska. Just the sights here. Oh my goodness. You can't get old. I mean, you can't get tired of these sights here in Alaska. You just can't. It never gets old. So I know there's another flying. Gonna say Yaple. Will the spruce goose fly like this? Well, good question, Yaple. The spruce goose in real life only flew once. But its performance specifications aren't even accurate, so we don't really know if this really flies like this. To be quite honest. But I mean, it's stated there in the specification to go 20,000 feet. So I guess they based it off the museum stuff from the McMinnville Museum. But unfortunately, we don't really have anything else with it. So, but that is a very good question. But it's good that you asked. You love flying at Los Angeles Air, LAX, LA International. I probably need to do a flight to LAX instead at some point, from one of my streams. Fly to LAX. Yeah, KLAX, a very big international airport. It's huge. Um, but yeah, it's definitely a very cool international airport. It's just, yeah, it takes a long time to get to LAX because if you know anything about Los Angeles, LA has so much traffic. Um, LA at this point is infamous for traffic. It really is. You don't have to ask me twice about that, Scoop. Yep. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna descend a little bit. I'm gonna go descend to around 10,000. Arm. 100. So now that we're descending out of the mountains, so we're going to descend from the tallest peaks. So up here, you can definitely see there's quite a few. There's external doors. There's all the different fire warnings and compartments. Flare, and there's all the flares, but those are inoperable. Really? It's like I said. There's your rudder trims, pitch trims. There's all your flaps on this thing. And those are inoperable, but you can see the hydraulic systems, the flight engineer. Yeah, there are throttles for each of the engines. It's a crazy machine. Thinking about it now, when I fly from Chicago, it takes 2.5 hours to get there, but it's a smaller airport, cost more ticket. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, LA traffic is notorious for traffic. Um, and I'm from Indiana, but I have never seen traffic like the one in Los Angeles. LA is notorious. Yeah, we're about 69.4 nautical miles away from our from our stop here at 2 Yankee 3. This is going to be our first water port we're going to end up landing here today. So I'll be right back soon. I gotta go take a bio break really quick. So I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Um, so yeah, I think about now when I fly from Burbank, Indianapolis. I've been through there a couple times, but I think I've been a truck driver. Take the loop around the city, unless you're delivering it. Yeah, Indianapolis definitely. I haven't been to Indy in a couple of years. I'd definitely like to check it out again. The last time I'd been to Indy, Scoop was during the Indianapolis Colts game at Lucas Oil. That was a couple of years ago. That was the last time I'd been to Indianapolis. I think I've been to the Indianapolis Zoo once. Went up to the Indianapolis Zoo to check out some of the stuff around there. But I would like to visit some more areas around Indiana. Um, check check out a little more of it. Lucas Oil is a very nice football facility. One of the nicest in the country. Indianapolis Zoo is really good for a zoo, and of course there's Indianapolis Motor Speedway, a very historic racing thing. So definitely would love to check out Indianapolis, Oregon. Definitely for sure. Um. Oh yeah, I want to ask you guys if any of you guys have owned the Astra One from Godfriends. Tell me what you guys think about it because I might be. I'm contemplating getting this add-on. Because I am contemplating getting it. Also, apparently, I can actually hide the buoys if you need me to. I can actually hide them if I want to. Oh yeah, I can also change the curtains. I can actually change the side curtains here. See these curtains up down here? I can change them. So see that? Yeah, I can put the curtains. You can also change. There's also the fuel tank capacities as well for this use. So they got quite a few little things. You can even change the aircraft. So you can do all sorts of little things with it. And you can even change the canopy too. So yeah, you got it's quite a few touchable things on this plane, which I've been to other places around here. You've been to Elkhart in Terre Haute, Terre Haute. Ah, cool. I never been up to that up part of Indiana before. I never been to Terre Haute or Elkhart. But from what I remember, Terre Haute is right across the Wabash River. It's where Indiana State University's at. That's what I know Terre Haute for. Indiana State's where Larry Bird played basketball back in the old days. But Elkhart is basically really close to South Bend, which is where Notre Dame plays football for the Fighting Irish. someplace right at northeast quarter. Hey, good to see you, Coaster Royalty. How you been? So we're flying along here in the Spruce Goose today. Um, so um, so we're currently in Alaska right now. We just passed through Glacier Bay National Park. We're about to get ready for our first landing of the day. We're gonna land here at 2 Yankee 3. So we're gonna try and find a way to fit this spruce goose across the lodge and all that. So this is gonna be very interesting. How we're gonna fit this colossal plane in here? That's gonna be a real challenge. But it's absolutely a pretty day up there in Alaska. Oh, you're doing some military ops. Nice. Sounds awesome, and I hope you have fun. That's yeah, I might think about getting the Astro one from Got Friends. It's pretty cheap right now. It's on sale for $10. So I might get my hands on it, but it comes with its own flight model and all that. But it would definitely be something a lot. It would be a bunch of fun for the flights around the city area. Maybe take it on a bush trip probably. Find some pretty interesting areas to do a bush trip. It's a blast, it's like your personal drone. Ah, nice. Yeah, I may get my hands on it. And speaking of which, hello Sky Command. What's up, my dude? Good to see you, Sky Command. Yes, it is true. It is the massive. It's the ginormous. It's the spruce goose. With a wingspan that puts even the AN 225 to shame. Um, so we're doing two legs today. We're exploring much of Alaska's much of its southern coast. We went over Glacier Bay, and now we're heading our way over to the side of Kauai National Park. So that's to our right. So we were just talking a little bit about the H4 Hercules and the guy who actually inspired its creation, Howard Hughes. But yeah, we're doing quite well. This thing is an absolutely awesome plane, and apparently from the most recent update, you actually got modern avionics. Of course, and that means you have an autopilot. Unfortunately, there's a bug with it. I can't access nav mode on this for some weird reason. Oh yeah, and then some from Flight Sim Elite news, FS Elite, we have Black Square Simulations. They are announcing a brand new plane, original one too. This is their first original plane that's going to come from Black Square, and it is the Beechcraft 60 Duke, which is a turboprop Beechcraft. Which was produced by Beechcraft from 1968 to 1983, and was very popular with pilots who wanted a high-performance aircraft. But yeah, that's going to definitely be very exciting. And if you guys like the Black Square planes, that's definitely great. And then next Tuesday on April 25th, the ATR is going to finally come into the sim, um, which is definitely something I'm absolutely getting my hands on. As I wanted a turboprop regional airliner for quite some time, so this would definitely be a good one to get. And I believe the price is going to be around, I think, $20 to $25. I think that's probably going to be the price, about $20 to $25. I'm hoping. Because remember, this is Microsoft in a Sobo. So, yep. PNG3X for those real air veterans. Yep. VOR to VOR. Yep. They're finally going to get the ATR next Tuesday, which is going to be. I'm definitely grabbing my hands. And of course, Orbex has released their new ultralight as well. So I'm curious to see how people like it. Myself. But yeah, we are very close to landing for our first stop here. But yeah, I picked this flight for today because I wanted to explore Alaska, but I wanted to do float planes, but I decided I want to actually fly a bigger float plane than this. So, and I mean, there's no flying seaplane bigger than the Goose in the sim. So I thought, and there isn't too many places around the continental U.S. to take this Bruce Goose for waterports, so I had to do Alaska. That was. I'm sure the price would be in the range that. Yeah, absolutely. So it turns out, I did pick up some bit of history about these flying boats. But flying boats have actually, basically, if you guys don't know what a flying boat is, this is actually a fixed wing seaplane with the hull that allows it to land in the water, and it differs from a normal float plane because the fuselage is designed to actually float. While float planes, like the ones you see most, like the Beaver float plane or the X Cup floats, they have a fuselage mount that floats for buoyancy. And they grew rapidly during the interwar period after World War One, which numerous operators found commercial success, and they've used them as well. And they're among the largest aircraft in the first half of the 20th century. Then, as the jet age and all that stuff, the flying boats lost their popularity due to difficulty maintaining operations in weather, and the introduction of larger, more efficient land-based airline. However, there are still types of flying boats that are still popular, like the JRM Mars and the Shin Miwa US-1As. Currently, right now, modern flying boats use it for aerial firefighting and air transport around archipelagos and underdeveloped areas. But there was some very well-known stuff as well. So, guys, if you're here for the first time and want to know the channel, in addition to these Friday streams, I stream Wednesdays at the same time on Wednesdays. And that's mainly for the virtual airline stuff or Firefly Air. And then on Sundays, I do a DC3 around the world trip um, in the Douglas DC3. And I'm recreating what Britling did back in 2017 when they took a 77-year-old DC-3 around the world from Geneva and back. Um, this week's leg is going to be we're going to enter we're going to exit Taipei and we're going to enter Japan for the first time in the main island of Honshu. We'll make our way over to Kagoshima on Sunday, which is going to be about 600 plus nautical miles from Taipei. And this is where we spend about I think 2 or 3 weeks in Japan and we're going to be flying around the entire country. So I think it's going to be some pretty exciting stuff as well. Oh yeah, we expect an unexpected water landing. Yes, we are going to land in the water. Yep, we're getting very, very close. I don't really care about the smoothness. I just want to land this thing safely. But man, it's a beautiful day here in Alaska. Absolutely stunning here. Love this place. Um, my plans for the weekend is to get things ready for Sunday stream. And of course do some more flying for the virtual airline. We are about under $100,000 XP left. From reaching our goal with the VA. And we're gonna get a new hub. I'm not gonna tell you where our new hub's gonna be, but it is gonna be a brand new hub somewhere. But I'm not gonna tell you where it's at. But I can tell you one thing: it's gonna be in a pretty cool spot around the world. I'll leave it to you guys for your imagination. But I'm not gonna tell you.
NANI?
Yes, Donnie, Bocelli, good to see you. And here it is. This is Yakutat, where we're gonna be landing at today. This is Yakutat, Alaska. Its elevation 69 feet. In the Tlingit name is Yaktawat, and it means the place where canoes rest. And it's because it covers, actually, believe it or not, this borough covers 6 times the size of the U.S. state of Rhode Island. And despite that large area, it is only got a population of under 700 people, 662 to be exact. So, autopilots, get ready to send. Flaps. Definitely going to take flaps with this thing. Now, unfortunately, this boat doesn't have. If it was a normal flying boat like the Grumman Goose, it would have had a landing gear, but this thing does not. Add in. And like I said, this is a big boy. So we're going to be very careful when landing this. But I mean, imagine this kind of plane for firefighting and all that. Hey, good to see you. Hey, Fred. Welcome on in. Hey, Fred. I hope you're doing well. We're about to make our first stop here in this mighty Spruce Goose. Um, and prepare for leg number 2 of the trip. Here we go. Yes, this thing, mind you, has the wingspan larger than a 747. So, I mean, it's going to be a miracle if we can manage to finally land this thing. If this was a normal full plane, I wouldn't have be so much an issue. But when your plane is got a wingspan that would make a 747 look small, by comparison, careful. Don't stall. Oh boy. Off. Ugh. Yes, yeah, this lane's not good. Yes, that's not a good landing for a float plane. Yeah, we're down. Yeah. Yeah, very, very interesting first landing. So that is our first lane for today. Try to get this. So let's go ahead and get this nice smooth lake though. Yeah, it's a nice smooth lake. So let's go ahead and get ready for leg number 2. Um, for this one, we're going to go around 10,000 feet for the next one. 2Y3, 2 Yankee 3, we're going to head to 1 Zulu 9. Okay? So let's go ahead and get one more landing down. Okay, 49 knots. Can we pull this up? Pull this up? Pull. Huh. Oh, that's pretty amazing. Oh yeah, this thing's so much fun. I mean, you're flying a piece of history. Petty mode. And I'm gonna go. let's go ahead and yeah, the Hercules is an absolute unit of a plane. Absolutely beautiful here in Alaska. I would definitely like to do an around the world trip with this thing at some point. With the modern avionics now, I think I could do an around the world trip with this thing. Be absolutely scenic around the world trip. Sure. But absolutely just beautiful scenery here today. So the national park we're seeing right now, this is Kule National Park. Here, during the South, this is actually part of the Yukon Territory, but Kule National Park was set aside in 1972 as a national park. It contains 22,000 square kilometers of area. It features the highest mountain in all of Canada, Mount Logan, which I believe we can see here is Mount Logan, which is the highest peak in all of Canada. Um, this Some of the areas in this national park you can visit. Hiking, rafting on the rivers, mountain biking, and more can be enjoyed here in the park. And it's home to quite a few animals like the Yukon wolf, bear, coyote, mink, lynx, river otter, caribou, moose, wolverine, mountain goats, and more. And it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site as well. 1979, and it was extended to 1994 as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. On this big boy slow, but yeah, this part of Alaska is stunning. Who knew this could be such a thing part of it? Just absolutely beautiful. So yeah, so basically that's going to be where we're doing things. So thinking about flying boats, another flying boat that I know I would love to see in the sim is someone put in the Martin JRM Mars sim. Which if you guys don't know, the JRM Mars was the largest Allied flying boat to enter wartime production. Though only 7 of those things were built, but they were very successful as water bombers. Uh, Firefighting water bombers still remain, but those things were very powerful planes. I mean, they had 4 18-cylinder engines producing 2,500 horsepower each, and they had a range of 4,300 nautical miles, and they can reach 14,000 feet as their ceiling. And apparently they can actually carry around 7,200 gallons of water as part of their water tanks. And apparently they can actually have a capacity of 133 people. So, I mean, they can carry a lot of people. I would like to see Mars. Yes, the Mars, exactly. The Mars water bomber. It's not really a military plane. You can easily put this for civilian use. Yes, I would like to see the Mars be used. Of course, I would also love to see this big bullet, this Grumpy Goose with the Firefighter livery. I would love to see this with Firefighter colors on. I would like to see if Cyrus can work his magic on this thing. Giggles. Hmm. Yeah, we're doing quite well. We're 5,000 feet still. But man, it's absolutely stunning here. And we can definitely see. beautiful area today. Thank you guys so much for coming into today's stream as well. Enjoying the beautiful landscapes here in this part of Alaska. There's Biggles here as well. It's just awesome we got someone here to join me in Alaska today. Just absolutely beautiful flying. I know later today, Murph's going to be streaming later today. He's going to take the DC-6, which is an awesome plane, by the way. I'm definitely going to bring the DC-6 back onto more of my streams at some point for the airliner stuff. Absolutely dying here as well. If you guys haven't if you like the content, guys, and you want to keep up with my later streams, I'm here. You can smash that follow button and support the channel. And if you guys want to as well, I have my own Discord here as well, and I put my mods into the YouTube channel as well. So, so right now we're about 7,000 feet up. We're climbing up to here pretty slowly as well, so you can definitely tell from the sea. So, well, I'll be heading up next year. I'll be heading up that way in that part of Alaska next year. We'll be visiting both Valdez and Seaward in next year's vacation. So we'll be going up to this part of Alaska. But I mean, I know that this part of Alaska is absolutely gorgeous. Check out. So definitely a beautiful part of the 49th state country. So, so yeah, and then after Murph streams on tonight, tomorrow, we have Allison Johnson. She's going to be on. She's doing another leg of the Mary Leahy flight. Um, her channels. Let me give her a shout out as well. She's gonna be there Saturday. She's gonna be doing another 7.5 hour plus flight in the Tiger Moth. She'll be going from Naples to Marseille. She'll be visiting Rome, Genoa, and Nice, all across the Italian and French Riviera. So if you like vintage aviation, check out her channel. She's an amazing content creator. She is the one who actually helped me get to streaming in the first place, by the way. Hey, good to see you, Rubber Duck. Hey, dude, how are you doing? I'm doing quite well, Rubber Duck. Thank you for the follow. We're doing well. We're taking the big old Spruce Goose all the way across the southern coast of Alaska, not southeast, but more of a southern coast. So we're right next to Clay National Park here in that area in the Yukon. And right here, guys, that big peak up here to our right, that is Mount Logan. That is the tallest point in all of Canada, believe it or not, up there. But yeah, I'm doing quite well, and and I'm not the only spruce goose in the air. I actually have another one with us. Biggles is down below. Yeah, we're having a bunch of fun in the spruce goose. Earlier on the stream, we actually took off from Bartlett Cove, right next to Glacier Bay National Park, and we flew over a few of the mountains, including Mount Fairweather. So I never really flew spruce goose in the sim before. Yes, I'm happy they got the big autopilot. That's definitely huge that this thing now has modern autopilot. I do agree. It is much better. Great that they have the modern autopilot in this thing. However, though, there is one bug that a bug with this autopilot is you can't change it to nav mode. I hope that gets fixed. Being able to change this to the navigation mode. If it turned to nav, it would be amazing for the longer trips. But yeah, but you can just change your heading. It's not a big deal. The heading bug thing is right here. Change it. But definitely very, very cool, especially for the longer flights. It's going to be really nice. But yeah, I do love this plane. It is very, very fun. So, for next Wednesday stream, that's a good question. For next Wednesday, where do I want to go next Wednesday? There's plenty of places I was thinking about for next Wednesday stream. I'm probably but since I'm going to be in Japan all with the DC3 the next couple of weeks, I'm not going to do anything with Japan for a while. I'm probably thinking probably do some I know we might have a new Firefly Air Hub soon, so we might get voted for that one. Maybe that'll be 2 Wednesdays. I guess maybe next Wednesday I'm probably thinking that's a good question for next Wednesday. There's so many questions. Maybe somewhere in the Middle East, maybe? Probably. Maybe Turkey, maybe somewhere else. That's what I'm planning on for Wednesday, probably something like that. And then next Friday, that's a very good question for Friday stream. I'll let you guys know, but I'm thinking. I think about doing Victoria Falls actually. I have Jefferson scenery, so I may want to do something with Victoria Falls. So that's what I'm planning on doing for next Friday's thing. But yeah, I do like this big plane. This plane is a lot of fun as well, and I'm glad that Asoba brought this plane to the sim. For us normal people, we never get to see this thing fly. It's definitely very cool. Speaking of the Spruce Goose, it's actually now at the McMinnville Aviation Museum. It's at the Evergreen Air and Space Museum. That's where the Spruce Goose is actually now up. Um, and that's where it's actually been held. The Spruce Goose, the largest wood plane ever built, and they're currently trying to get a new exhibit for this coming up soon. But it's really cool. If Foxtrot's here in the chat, he's been through here before. He'll tell you all about it. But besides the Spruce Goose, the Evergreen Air Museum has got quite a few other exhibits for both air and space exhibits. They got a DC-3, they got a DC-3 exhibit, World War II, and Vietnam exhibits as well. They also got a restoration project for an F-86 Sabre. Well, they got a Titan II rocket for the Gemini program, and they also got his SR-71 Blackbird. But yeah, they're by far their most famous exhibit in the Crown Jewel Museum is the Spruce Goose, which this year has just turned 75 years old. Actually, last year turned 75 years old. Yeah, the old Spruce Goose. It still is a classic. Can't get enough of that plane. So, just such a preview of Alaska, and there's more of the glaciers within the national park and everything. Huge. There's even more glaciers and mountains. So, quite a bit of things going on as well. Some aviation stuff. So, so bits of news as well. So, some pretty big stuff going on here today for Flight Sim and as well. Oh yeah, I got some sports stuff I want to talk about. So, the MLB season's coming around. If you guys know about me, I did a whole baseball series back when I originally streamed Major League Baseball. So I still keep an eye on the league, and it turns out right now, as of April 21st of today, in the American League, um, the best record in the American League East is my own Tampa Bay Rays, my favorite baseball team, the Rays. 16-3 record. They won two in a row. They did lose the series to Toronto, but won the series against Cincinnati. 16-3 record. I mean, they still had an amazing season so far. Still perfect at home at least. Then the rest of the AL East has got the Yankees, Orioles, Blue Jays, and Red Sox. But I mean, the AL East is absolutely stacked as a division. I mean, the Rays, Yankees, Orioles, and Toronto Blue Jays are all playoff caliber teams. They can definitely make a noise in the playoffs. That division's a bloodbath. The American League Central is still quite competitive. Minnesota and Cleveland are clearly the two best teams in that division. Detroit is actually not even the worst team in the Central, like a lot of people were predicting them to be. In fact, the Royals are absolutely terrible this year. I mean, they're only 1-12 at home. They are absolutely terrible. And then the AL West, was to me so far is definitely a massive surprise seeing the Rangers be first in that division. I was not expecting them to be first. I thought they would be second or third, especially considering both the Astros and Mariners made the playoffs last year. To see the Rangers in top with a 4-game win streak, I was not expecting Texas to do this well. But Houston is not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. 9-10 record. But this is early in the year. Anything can still happen. So anything can still happen. In the National League East, I mean, the Braves have been outstanding, and Braves and Mets have both been very good this year in the National League East. The Miami Marlins are doing all right. So far, Philadelphia has not had the greatest start of the year. It's been Philly, and of course, Washington's been really. Everyone knew Washington was one of the worst teams in the league. Not really a surprise. Oh yeah, speaking of the AL West, the Oakland Athletics are an absolute dumpster fire this year. I mean, the worst record in the league. I mean, their run differential is -86, which is horrible. And to make things even worse for Oakland people in Oakland, the Oakland A's are going to be moving to Las Vegas. Around 2027, they're going to actually leave Oakland for Las Vegas, as the A's reach a deal for a new stadium in Las Vegas. So they're going to be leaving Oakland by 2027. So they are no longer going to be the Oakland Athletics at a pretty soon date. They're going to be the Las Vegas Athletics. Makes sense. In the NL Central, the Milwaukee Brewers are leading the division, but surprise, surprise, the Pittsburgh Pirates are actually good. What? Pittsburgh actually really a good baseball team? What? I mean, who was expecting the Pirates to actually do something this season? Not me. But again, like I said, we're still only in April, but it's still crazy that the Pirates are not far off. And then the AL West, another surprise. Arizona's leading that division. I don't know how long that's going to last, but Arizona's leading that division so far over LA and San Diego. but I mean, anything can still happen. So yeah, that is the Major League standings for the division. Yeah, if you look at the wild card, so if the playoffs happen today, the Rays, Rangers, and Twins would win the division, and then the rest of the three wild card teams in the American League are all AL East teams. Yankees, Orioles, and Blue Jays would take the wild card spot. Yeah, I do like the pan. It's I agree with you, Rubber Duck. The Goose has such great panoramic views. Like the entire front of it, you can see all the views from it. Like you can see so much of the thing. It's very scenic plane. Great for the longer trips as well. Not the fastest plane, but you do see a lot. But yeah, and the National League ended today, and then for the AL, the Braves, Brewers, and Diamondbacks would win their division, and then the wildcard teams would be the Mets, Pirates, and Cubs. I mean, I don't think anyone would expect, especially the Pirates and Cubs potentially making the playoffs. That would be really nice. That's just Major League Baseball news. For the NBA playoffs came around. So the NBA playoffs are finally here. I mean this NBA playoffs is pretty crazy to think about. But the playoff bracket is so crazy this year. I mean, if you're an NBA fan, you're not expecting to see the Sacramento Kings in the playoffs, which haven't even appeared in 17 years. 16 seasons since the Kings last made the playoffs. Pretty crazy. And so far, they're taking a series lead over the Warriors, though they did lose last night. But but definitely the NBA season's looking pretty good. Like I said, NBA playoffs get really serious postseason. A perfect VFR aircraft for a quick spin. Yeah, exactly. This is great for VFR stuff. And also, and this thing can land anywhere that has water. So, though, because it doesn't have any landing gear, like a traditional landing gear for land, it can't land on like dirt strips or tarmac. It has to land in a ski strip. So we are just around 134 nautical miles from our destination. So there's that as well. Definitely a very, very cool plane. So we have Biggles. He landed. He's currently in the water around this area, but line of business just right up. Just absolutely just stunning. Love this Spruce Goose is just incredible. Lights. So yeah, it turns out there are still a modern day flying boat still around. And that's the US-2 flying boat, which is been made since 2003. It's the Shin Beiwa US-2, which is the next generation flying boat. It is an amphibious boat that can plane basically anywhere. It can be used as air to sea rescue, but also aerial firefighting. It can carry up to 15 tons of water, which is 30,000 pounds of water for the mission as well. It's a very capable plane, powered by four Rolls-Royce turboprops that produce 4,500 horsepower each. It can cruise at 20,000 feet, 260 knots, with a range of 2,300 nautical miles, and it can take off um, on the ground. It can actually take off within 1,600 feet, and it is even shorter in the water, around 920 feet in water, which is pretty insane. Flying boat. Just incredible engineering. The Spruce Goose is just awesome. Love every bit of this plane. I probably am gonna get my hands on the Astra One at some point and learn how to fly that thing. Because I'm thinking some pretty cool flight destinations from the Astra One. Probably do some flying around the Ohio River or something. Yeah, there's tons of glaciers around here. All of this is glacial, by the way. All of this leads into the massive glaciers across this area for sure. So yeah, so I want to ask you guys this question as well. Since we're flying in the air in this plane for quite a bit, I will tell you a couple of fun facts about the state of Alaska actually. So here's 49 things you may not know about Alaska. Number one, Alaska is home to 17 of North America's tallest mountains, including 17 of the 20 highest peaks in the United States are all in Alaska, including the highest peak in North America, Denali, which is over 20,320 feet tall. And, and also including those mountains is also the fact that Alaska has more than 100 volcanoes within the country. So Alaska's got tons of mountains and volcanoes, and there's more than 3,000 rivers and 3 million lakes in Alaska, making Alaska great for a lot of paddling or rafting. Alaska believe it or not, the state of Alaska has more coastline than the rest of the U.S. put together, with more than 34,000 miles of coastline. To put that in perspective, the state with the second largest coastline is Florida, and that's only 8,436 miles of coastline. And that's basically 25% of Alaska, which is pretty amazing. And here's a few other lesser known facts about Alaska. The name Alaska, it means the Great Land, which the name actually comes from the elite word for Alaska, which means the Great Land. The state sport of Alaska is dog mushing, and the reason is that this was actually once the primary mode of transportation for most of Alaska. And Alaska is also home to the state's largest sport event, the Iditarod, which is pretty important. And Alaska has the lowest population density in the United States. Um, if Manhattan had the same population density as Alaska, only 16 people would be living in Manhattan. It is not dense at all in population. Just to put you the scale of Alaska, most of you guys. I'll talk more once we get to Alaska for our DC3 event. Um, and believe it or not, some parts of Alaska are within 50 miles of Russia. Oh yeah, and here's some pretty interesting Alaska history facts for you. Um, During World War II, Alaska was the home to the only World War II battle that was actually fought on American soil in 1943, when the Japanese invaded the Aleutian Islands. And believe it or not, only one of those islands in Alaska was actually the only piece of American territory lost during the war. And obviously, you can't. And the only and the major reason why Alaska is part of the U.S. is because Russia sold it to the U.S. for $7.2 million. Originally, it was called Seaworth's Folly, but it ended up being massively paid off when they found gold in the place. Pretty crazy, isn't it? Hey, good to see you, Richie Ricardo. Happy Friday to you. We're getting very close to our final destination here. Um, we're about 98 nautical miles away from here. We'd be about 40 minutes from our lane approach here at Alamar Airfield, 1 Zulu 9. We're here in the Spruce Goose, the mighty Howard Hughes most mad airplane, the H-4 Hercules. We took off from Bartlett Cove, right near Glacier Bay, Alaska, and we're currently doing the second leg of the journey from Yakutuk Seaplane Port to Elamar. So we're flying right through the beautiful glaciers and everything here in this part of Alaska. So that's what we're doing here. Yes, this thing's now got an autopilot now because it's got one of the newest updates for it. But to me, the view of this part of Alaska is stunning. Never gets old. And soon we'll be getting through many of the fjords and all that as well once we're through here. So yeah, everything's going pretty well right now. So, are you still kicking in? Are you still kicking? You know what's in the T team stats? Yeah, Richie. I'm still kicking. In fact, I'm actually leading all the firefighter stats. What are you talking about? Of course, I'm leading the firefighter stats. I'm still kicking. You know what's in the TT? Yes. We are very close, Richie Ricardo. We are nearly we're just about 100K from our next XP, which I think we're gonna get there probably this weekend. We're gonna get to 100,000. And then we're gonna get a new Firefly Air Hub during this time. I think that's gonna be starting next week, maybe. But I'm currently leading the VA. I'm like doing 90,000 XP. I'm probably gonna reach over 90,000 XP the next update. So I'll be leading the premiership, by the way. So yeah, I'm currently helping. I'm doing what I can to help the VA get to its XP goal because we definitely want to get a new hub. And I'm gonna be, and since I'm gonna be the leader of my premiership, I'm gonna be getting a vote for the new hub. I don't know what our hub's gonna be, but so, yeah, that's so, dude. Yep, I'm getting very close to it, Richie. Um, I'm hoping our new hub may be somewhere new. I mean, we got 3 hubs in Europe and a hub in North America, and we got 2 in South America. I would like to have a new hub somewhere else, somewhere new we haven't visited. Southeast Asia, Australia, New Zealand, and just and even maybe even one day a little bit of Africa. Southeast Asia will be interesting or land down under some long haul stuff from the current hubs. Yeah, I guess so too. I could definitely like to see it. If it's like definitely some. I think if it's Australia, we do have a hub. I would like to see long haul stuff to some of the South Pacific islands, um, like Tahiti to Papeete in Tahiti, Fiji, Samoa, New Caledonia, Vanuatu, along with New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, maybe um interesting like Bali, Jakarta, Singapore, Bangkok, Manila. That would be really cool for long haul stuff because like I said, I want to consider some routes in Asia to open things. Because those are destinations that definitely would like to open up. Because, like I said, Asia really has never been really explored as a hub. Just that's just what I feel like as well. Um, But basically, that's what it is as well. I would like to see more FBOs open up. Like, I would like to see a little FBO open up at like an Anchorage or something with flights across Alaska. That would, like, we need more little FBOs like in Alaska or some bits of Africa in the Middle East. Again, they're not really too much in the Middle East. Maybe that would be really interesting for routes. And of course, like I said, all of Asia is so unexplored. Japan, China, South Korea, Southeast Asia really isn't explored. Though I would also be a huge fan of a FBO with some routes in New Zealand, like Queenstown. I think Queenstown would be a great FBO location. You have flights all across New Zealand, DA stuff. But yeah, I would like to see some of those. Like I said, there needs to be more regions, and I don't know if Mer's ever going to do this, but I think there might be some. I'm in favor about getting rid of a hub potentially if we need to. I think the hub I would probably get rid of is Bristol. It's not that I don't like Bristol as a hub. I think Bristol's a fine airport, but we already got two other hubs. We have our HQ in Dublin, and then we got our mainland Europe hub in Zurich. Like, I don't think Bristol's needed. I don't think it's. I get why he put one in Bristol because some people can't fly into Dublin. But I guess Zurich kind of replaces the need for Bristol. Like, I think I know a lot of people do like Bristol, but I think that open up our hub could be open somewhere else, like Dubai or Cairo. Or my pick would be Tokyo. Would be really cool. Mainly, I would probably replace it with Tokyo. That would be a better pick because Japan is such a great place to fly. Love flying Japan, so that would be perfect. Fiona Viper, catch you again. Thank you so much for flying along, Biggles. Thank you so much for coming along with me today in the H4 Hercules. And I hope to see you again soon, Biggles. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day. So we're just 65 nautical miles out, guys, and we're getting even through more of the mountains. And I mean, thank you so much, Biggles, for joining. It is absolutely beautiful tonight. Nice. So take care, my friend. Yeah, absolutely beautiful today. And that is absolutely stunning, everyone. That is just stunning. Such pretty views out here, guys. Just such a pretty view. This is just gorgeous view. I mean, if you have kayaking and all that, you can just kayak and sail your way up through Alaska. That's why a lot of people love visiting Alaska. You have such great scenery and all that as well. And speaking of which, pushing up to 10,000 feet, eh? Good to see you, Planet Neutral. Yes, I am. I'm 10,000 feet up. But seriously though, I'm doing this because, well, we're in the Spruce Goose, and there's no way I can take it through smaller terrain. Like I said, we're going to the glaciers of Alaska. I don't want to crash into any of the glaciers or mountains. Okay. I mean, plus we're doing a flight scene trip, so we gotta be high up in the altitude anyway to avoid crashing into the water and everything. But check out Planet Neutral's channel. He's a good friend of mine as well. So yeah, but it's absolutely beautiful here today. Here in Alaska, going for another pushing up there. Absolutely stunning here today, guys. So we are around. We are 55 nautical miles away from our finals destination. We'll be there in around under 30 minutes. So but I hope you're doing well playing neutral today. Got getting ready for the weekend starts, and I want to have a nice chill Friday stream. So, and this is my first stream ever taking the Spruce Goose. Very cool playing up here as well. So yeah, today in 420, by the way, April 20th. Today is actually April 20th. Is actually April 21st. Today is April 21st. A couple of major events that happened during April 21st. Here's some events that happened during this time, on this date. In 753 BC, Romulus actually founds Rome, the traditional date, which is the founding of Rome, which is ended up being one of the world's great cities and empires. Mark Antony was defeated in the Battle of Mutina by Aulus Herodotus. Henry VIII actually ascends to the throne of England on the death of his father, Henry VII, who we all know King Henry VIII was one of the most well-known kings of his era in England. In 1789, John Adams was sworn in as the first U.S. Vice President of the United States. During the Texas Revolution in 1836, on April 21st, the Battle of San Jacinto happened, which effectively was the final decisive battle that allowed Texas to gain independence from Mexico. In 1918, during World War I, the Red Baron Manfred von Richthofen was shot down and killed over Val-sur-Somme in France. on April 21st, 1918. Also, here's a funny thing about April 21st. In 1934, the famous surgeon's photograph, which is the most famous photo allegedly showing the Loch Ness Monster, is published in the Daily Mail. And it didn't take all the way until 1994 to just find out it was a hoax. Some pretty interesting things happen into today. So, coming up pretty soon, we should we should probably descend at some point soon. Or descend. Yes, it may not seem like a real bush trip, like land as dirt strips, but I mean, you're kind of limited to what you can land in a plane the size of this spruce goose. So you're kind of limited. I do. So I guess next Wednesday I might take the ATR out for a flight. The question is where I want to take the ATR to. I'm probably going back to Norway again. This time, if I'm taking the ATR, I'm probably going taking this back to Norway. Probably going from Trondheim um to Bodo, probably. But it'll be in the ATR. We'll be doing a an ATR airline flight, which would be really really cool. And to get ready for a potential future Firefly Air delivery with it. So So we're about to go over more of the fjords and everything. Very, very close. Just 34 nautical miles remaining. So yeah, I hope you guys have any major plans for the weekend. And you guys have some major flying to do. We still got a couple of achievements for the VA to complete. Firefly Air. Just slowly descending. Just continue to slowly descend as well. But I mean, the views out of here are just amazing, guys. Hey, good to see you, 6 knots. It's going great, my dude. We're getting very close to our final stop here in Alaska. We have the mice Bruce Goose here, 6 knots. But great to have you here in the stream, my dude. So we are just under 100K from our VA airline, by the way, 6 knots. So I kind of helped out Merv with some admin work for him. I did some things for him, so about our new hub. So I got that ready. Yeah, we're getting very, very close. And yeah, this thing definitely needs a firefighter livery. We need some of that livery magic. Maybe we should name this Spruce Goose something Irish with goose. But that'll be our main seaplane, our own flying boat. Yeah, it's going great, 6 knots. Just gonna get. So we are so close. And like I said, I'm waiting for a new hub. I'm hoping it's a place we haven't really had a hub before. We already got 3 hubs in Europe, 2 South America, and 1 in the U.S. Cool, good job. Thank you. Thanks for that. Yep. So, Merv has a plan. Yes, he does. He always has a plan. And the thing I did for him was I just scouted out a few hub locations for him. I'm not gonna tell you where we're gonna be at, but I did some admin work about helping Merv find some plans. So right here we're going over a few more of the fjords across Alaska. So this here's a big old fjord across Alaska. And I'm going to be heading up to this area on my vacation. We'll be going to Valdez, Alaska. The Valdez Harbor. So on the other side of the seaplane port we're going to land at is Valdez. And that's home to the famous Stoll competition in So yeah, he's got a plan. And today we're gonna probably, if we have get enough time, we're gonna raid Murph Stream, and we're gonna raid him. He's got a big DC6 fight today. Yeah, we're gonna head to one Zulu 9 is gonna be our route. So the place we're gonna visit to is Tatilak. Tatilak. It's Tatitlek. Yeah, Tatitlek. Um, Population 90 people live in this area. Um, Now this village was most well known for being the nearest village to the Exxon Valdez spill in 1989, and it has it has one school, served 15 students in here as well. So like I said, there is not many people in the area. It has its own little airport and its own seaport too. Head and take the autopilot out. We're gonna do some scenic flying, boys. Oh, and we're gonna do some scenic flying. Area. Yeah. We, this is absolutely breathtaking, guys. I mean, you guys know me. I'm a big fan of flying into Alaska. It's always great. It's always a great place to fly. So yeah, I can't wait to get the ATR next week. I can't wait. I'm probably gonna either go back to Norway for the ATR, or I might go somewhere completely different with it. Maybe try um probably doing some flights around Asia, maybe, or wherever our new hub might actually be located. So just sending. So let's see if I get a better landing this time around. Like I said, this thing is not easy. So this here's our village. I mean, look at this. Definitely the set here as well. Yep, I hope to get there someday as well. Exactly. I hope we get to our new hub as well for next day. Mm. Yep. Let's see. Hey, Quartz, good to see you. How you been doing? Yeah, we're about to land this big boy into our final stop here, 109. Yeah, we're gonna get this big boy stocked. And what I mean, big boy is it's this thing. It's a spruce goose. We're gonna get this big boy now. How cool would it be if someone were to take this thing around? Um, how cool would it be if someone took this thing around the world? Like, I know I'm taking the DC-3, but what if I took the spruce goose around the world? Here we go, guys. Oh, flaps. Just to get this thing slowed down a bit. Yeah, this is the main aerodrome to land of your civilian plane. You normal plane, you fly at Papa Alpha Kilo Alpha. We're actually gonna land at 109, which is the main seaport seaplane landing area. And this thing's actually over 10,000 feet, so um, more than enough room for a plane like this. That's more than enough room. Oh, that would be a long trip in this journey. Yes, it would be. Maybe for the Fireball Air War on the World trip, I could probably take be mainly airliners, but here we go, guys. Engine off. That was better than the first one, but we were down. Again, not a smooth landing, but that's not bad, especially this is our seaplane. Let's go. Auto shut down. So this plane's gonna get shut down and everything. That's it, guys. Welcome to 1 Zulu 9 in Alaska. We did it, guys. We made it all the way to up to the Alaskan coast. We're just right outside of Valdez. We're just a short pop from Valdez, Alaska, everyone. What a beautiful way to wrap up the stream today. Very beautiful and scenic flight. I mean I picked a good time to pick this Spruce Goose for sure. And it's great to see this old legend finally in the skies again in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I can't believe it nearly took me this long to actually get the Spruce Goose in the air. Yes, with 8 engines. Yeah, that's for sure. But guys, thank you so much. For an awesome stream as always, guys. So, we're gonna get ready for Murph's raid. I'm gonna wait till he's live. So on Sunday, we'll be back in the DC3 World Tour. We're gonna be leaving Taiwan, and we'll make our way over across the East China Sea into Kagoshima, Japan, and we'll be saying hello to the land of the rising sun once again on my streams. So, guys, a massive thank you for everyone, and he just came live. So, guys, stick around for the raid. We're gonna raid one of my favorite people in this whole community, the one, the only Two-Tone Murphy. So, guys, thank you so much on this amazing stream, and I hope to see you all again Sunday. Take care, everyone. Bye.